Vice President Kamala Harris returns to the campaign trail today for the first time since last week's Democratic National Convention. Harris and running mate Tim Walz will embark on a bus tour through Georgia, which is shaping up to be a key battleground state in the November election.
Well, the tour through southern Georgia will end with a rally in Savannah. Then Vice President Harris and Governor Walz will sit down for their first interview together since launching their bid for the White House.
Let's bring in Tia Mitchell. She's the Washington correspondent for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, has sat next to me on many panels. I've had the pleasure of having time with Tia. It's great to have you on CBS News today. You know, the Democrats don't typically make a point of campaigning in the southern part of Georgia, or really the South in general. So what's the strategy here from the Harris-Walz campaign?
Well, thanks for having me on. And you're right. It's not normal for Democrats to campaign really outside of the metro Atlanta area, but it does make sense. Rural Georgia, southern Georgia still has a sizable Black population, about 25%. We know those are likely Democratic voters. I think it's also worth noting that ahead of his 1992 campaign, Bill Clinton campaigned in the Savannah area. He was the last presidential candidate to do so. He won Georgia that year. He was the final Democrat to carry Georgia until Joe Biden did so in 2020.
And Tia, we know that Trump has been making a play for Black voters. Has that strategy been successful at all in the Peach State? And how much is the Harris campaign concerned about that?
Well, I think the Harris campaign is trying to ramp up its outreach to all kind of pockets of voters, but Black men is definitely one segment of the Democratic base that they're doing outreach to. It was a concern, particularly when Joe Biden was leading the Democratic ticket, that Donald Trump was able to siphon away Black male voters. Now, again, we're not talking about even a majority, but again, in a state like Georgia, where every vote counts, Biden won by fewer than 12,000 votes. Just a few percentage points difference could, make or break who wins in Georgia. So it was a concern under Biden. Harris is doing better among Black voters and better among Black men, but I think she's trying to combat some of the messages from Trump. We know when Trump speaks to Black voters in general, he often puts it in the context of an anti-immigration message, whereas Harris is speaking to Black voters in a message about improving the economy, improving the safety net, home ownership, child tax credits, and things like that.
Tia, if you look at recent CBS News polling, I mean, it's as evenly split in Georgia as it is in most other swing states. It's so close. I wonder, when it comes to tomorrow's interview with Harris and Walz, if you expect any surprises or glimpses into a new aspect of their strategy in order to lock it in as a win.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what comes out of the interview. I think just by virtue of the interview taking place in Georgia says a lot. The setting they chose as Georgia being such a crucial state for them. I think that, we expect Dana Bash of CNN to push them on putting more meat on the bones of what they're going to do, of their platform, especially when it comes to, it's one thing to say what you want to do. It's a different thing to say how you're going to do it. And I think that's really where Harris and Walz are going to be pushed. But because they're going to be together, I think it may be a little bit lighter in tone, a little bit about their dynamic, a little bit about their campaign, to see how they kind of play off each other. But the setting will matter. Are they going to sit down in kind of like a formal setting? Are they going to do the interview in a coffee shop or at the back of the bus? All of that will matter as far as the tone of this interview.
All right, Tia Mitchell, thanks so much.
Thanks, Tia.